this individual from Phoenix, Arizona, went to Washington to try to raise some money for one of her Hispanic organizations here locally. Somehow Janet Napolitano found out she was there and called her on the phone. Don't know how. They keep in touch with people, as you know. And said, I would like us to have dinner together. They did, privately, just the two of them. In the course of the meal, Janet Napolitano said to this individual, whom we know, I want to ask you to go back to Phoenix, Arizona. I want you to immediately get 6 months of food and water in your house. And she said, I cannot tell you why. I have only told this to a few of my friends. But she said, I want you to immediately go back and get 6 months of food and water. And she said, well, please tell me, what's the danger? She said, I can't. You just take my word for it. I know what I'm talking about. This was only weeks ago. Now, the first thing on my list is, I beg you, you must prepare for the inevitable. There is no reason for you to suffer because of what the elite are doing. And the first thing on the list would be the recommendation that Janet Napolitano made to this friend of ours. The second thing on the list is, now if you have any doubts whatsoever as to what's going to happen to the stock market, you're bound to realize that when the securities, when the oil goes to $200 a barrel, the securities are worthless. Their timeline in 2012 takes place. Now the stock market is being held up today by the plunge protection team. They never wanted to admit to this up until about 6 months ago. They finally admitted to the plunge protection team. And anytime the stock market starts down, they just go in and bolster it. They'll buy it, they'll do whatever's necessary that day. And the Federal Reserve has literally spent billions of dollars to keep the American stock market up. There is a time at which they will not keep it up any longer. If you have any doubt in your mind whatsoever, go to YouTube, and don't take my word for it. Go to YouTube and find Tony Robbins, T-O-N-Y-R-O-B-I-N-S. Watch his DVD, and you'll definitely do something about it. Secondly, you need cash. You need to have enough to be able to sustain your household for a number of months' time. I'm suggesting maybe 3 months. Not in the bank, not in your checking account. You've got to have it. Cash won't be that much good for too long because they're coming in with a world currency. Mark my words, it's out there. And they already know that it'll be gold-backed from what I'm hearing. But you need to make preparation for your house during that interim period of time. Next, 401ks. Oh my goodness. You notice I'm not the youngest guy in the world. But I feel so much for the retirees of today who have in confidence trusted their Social Security, which has been squandered, and their 401ks that they're losing money in, and their retirement funds that they're not going to have. Rodney, I don't know whether you even have suggestions or not, but...
Well, one thing that I've been telling people in regards to their 401ks is to take their money out of the equities and the bonds that are within the 401k. In other words, in the shelter of a 401k, there are many options that people can choose. One of which is an interest-bearing account. Now, at times, historically speaking, when the interest rates go up, the stock market goes down. And conversely, when the stock market goes up, interest rates go down. We've just seen the end of this particular cycle. So what people need to be doing is contacting the person that is in charge of the 401k, tell them, get me out of the stock market, not tomorrow, get me out now, today, and move my money to where it's safe and earning interest for me. It's better to earn 2% interest on a positive side than it is to lose 70, 80% on the negative side.
Thank you. Next, gold and silver. You haven't seen anything. You think gold and silver prices are high now? You just wait. I know, I can't afford to buy gold anymore. I wish I could because I know where it's going. 6, travel. It is going to be disrupted. When the price of crude oil gets to $200 a barrel, the airlines are going to have major problems. The trucking lines will have problems. You will have problems with the railroads of America. Next, debt. Oh my goodness, people, pay off your debt. Get out of debt. You say, I can't. Well, that's right. Some people can't. You can't pay off that house. Well, you can't. If you can't, you can't. But don't go and put money on that credit card. Don't spend money you don't have. America is going to be facing a crisis that you cannot afford to be in debt. My next suggestion, at any cost, a log cabin is better than a $2 million mansion that has a mortgage on it. You positively must have a roof over your head paid for. I have been told that when the dust has settled, that because the Federal Reserve is bailing out all of the lending institutions, whether it be Fannie, Freddie, the taxpayers bailing out General Motors, Chrysler, the pension funds, everything else, because of what's going to happen to the dollar, eventually, when the dust settles, the Federal Reserve, the elite of the world, will own every mortgage in the United States of America, whether it be commercial or residential. The elite will own every mortgage because they have bailed them out, just as did Chrysler and General Motors, and you will be making your house payment to the Federal Reserve. You don't want this to happen.
In essence, giving them control over all of the property and real estate.
The name of the game is control. I've been saying this for 35 years. It's not money, it's control. Obsessed with it. Again, government. You're going to see more and more government intervention in our lives. It must stop. I don't know how. It cannot be by revolution. It must be peacefully. But there's got to be a change and get government out of our pockets and out of our lives. Again, I don't know what you're going to do, and I hope you'll give some thought to it, and I'll only say 2 words: firearms. Now, do with that what you want to. In a few moments, we're going to have a pastor tell us what we should do spiritually. So I'll leave off that one. He's very apt at what he's doing, and it's a privilege to have a man of God present what people should do today. And I've added one thing to this. Oh, I've actually added 2. Where do you live? I made a survey recently of where the elite live. I was amazed, dumbfounded. I found out where, and I contacted these 2 friends of mine. I said, where does this person and this person, where does this CEO and this person live? Not one single elite has his primary residence in a city. Every one of them have moved away from where they know the problem's going to be. And lastly, you must make preparation for the health care of your household. The health care system is going to have problems along with the other, especially if Mr. Obama exceed with what he wants in Obamacare. You must take preparations for your household. Now,